since I've started doing this fake reality bubble series, you wouldn't believe what I've seen. You wouldn't believe what I've seen. Like this one guy, I was going down the road just a couple hours ago, and he was on a motorcycle, he came off towards me, and I swerved and missed him. I'm glad I did, because it probably killed him. That probably had me on the news saying you killed somebody. Anyway, I rolled down the window, because he's on the motorcycle, came up and caught up with me. He says, you didn't see me? You almost hit? No, you almost hit me. He wants to believe the fake reality. He can't look at himself. He can't look inside. I've talked to people in the last week. I've seen situations where they are mad that somebody's asking them to pay for something that they agreed to pay to. They agreed to pay, but because something in their brain clicked where they don't think they need to pay for something, and it's like, what? Are you living in fake reality? It's right here I've seen it in rental agreements where it's right there on black and white. Oh, it's due this day, and you agreed to that, and you agreed to the amount. Fake reality bubble. I've seen it in so many ways and places and shapes, and I've seen it in... You wouldn't believe how many ways I've seen it. I can't even talk about them just because of what the situation is. Some things you just can't talk about, but they keep showing up. And I think what's happening here, the fact that I'm even bringing this up, that Genesis 3 is the fake reality bubble. That's where it started. And that fake reality bubble reverberates and turns into other fake realities. Everybody, it might be a family dynamic that's always been a fake reality bubble, and nobody can see it because everybody's caught up in it. There might be a narcissistic Jezebel running everything, and nobody can see it. It could be in a church, on a job, in a home, in a family. And these people want to create that bubble for their security and their whatever, retirement, whatever they're doing. The flying monkeys want their in-laws and their outlaws or their grandkids or whatever. They want them in that fake reality bubble, and they do everything they can to portray this kind of image or whatever. And also I've seen lately that people have a fake reality bubble of you. They listen to you. They have this fake image that they put in their mind of you. And there's other people who try to put a fake reality onto you. But anyway, those people who you're talking to, and you realize they believe a lie, and then you say something that doesn't line up with their image of what they thought. Whether it's, if they might have had an image of you that you were ignorant or something, and then you say something that they don't even understand, and they listen to you long enough, and they say, oh, wait a minute, this person's talking deep. This person's way deeper than I even ever heard. I ain't heard anybody talk this deep my whole life. And it shocks them. It scares them, actually. It actually kind of scares them. And then it could be the other way around with people. Somebody sees somebody and think, oh, this person's a genius. And then as soon as they open their mouth, they don't even make sense. Just because they got a position or a job or something. So by me doing this series, there's a lot of people having their bubbles burst, and they're having to face off with themselves. Most of the problems in reality are people don't want to look in the mirror. They want to believe the lie. And like I say, the narcissist sometimes might not even be a narcissist. It might be a person who lets you believe your lie because every time they tried to tell you the truth, you didn't want to hear them. And you were not even listening. There's people in your world, they told you everything about them, but they knew nothing about you. So they're projecting a reality that doesn't even exist. And if you care about the person, or you're rubbing shoulders with them all the time, or it might just be somebody that you have to be around, work or church or something, and they really believe this fake reality, and they don't even. And a lot of times when you're talking, if you are not in a fake reality, but everybody's got some kind of bubble they need to bust. And I'm noticing that too. The more you start talking, you say, I want to break all my fake realities. I want to break them. And I need to break this. I need to break this. It wasn't real. It wasn't real. It wasn't real. The person wasn't even real. Even though they're a real person, your image of them wasn't real. And their image of you wasn't real. And most of the time, relationships are not even real. People don't take the time to listen and to talk and communicate. And it was all fake. Is there anybody out there where your mom didn't know you? Your dad didn't know you? Your cousins? Your family? Aunt? Nobody knew you. It's happening all the time. If somebody doesn't know me, I'm not going to hang out with them on a personal basis because they don't even know me. Why would I hang out with somebody that you can't even grasp anything you're saying? Why would you be married to somebody like that? You're in the same house trying to talk to somebody. You say something about quantum physics, or you say something about everything is the now, or you say something about, everybody, every moment of every day makes a choice. You either live in the Genesis 3 fake reality bubble, or you live in Revelation, where God is revealing new truth to you day by day that is all about Jesus, And so you either live in the Genesis 3 lie, every moment of every day in the now, because what shall be has been, and what has been shall be. Every moment is the now. So you either live in the Genesis 3 lies that you told yourself, or you let people project on you just to keep the peace, or you live in Revelation and you speak the truth, whether they can hear you or not. You speak it and you let their whole reality crash. You crash their whole worldview of you, of themselves, of reality. It's going to be painful when people start. It's just like Neo in the Matrix when he woke up to what this place really is. Every moment is the now. Every point is the same. Every story is the same. You're either in a Genesis 3 lie, and there's 1,000 bubbles around you, or you're popping bubbles and you're moving away from the lies, away from the Gentile lies, away from the flesh mind, away from the music and the media and the TV. You're moving away from the fake reality, and you're moving towards a state of being where you're being revealed more truth and more truth and more truth. And there's always these people, depending who knows what their intentions are, whether they're agents or not, or they're led by the devil or God, or they're just led by their own desires or whatever, their games or manipulation, or it might be sincerity, they think. And so they're trying to encroach into your day-to-day, moment-by-moment revelation reality, but they're in the moment, day-by-day, Genesis 3 bubble of lies reality. So you're living and downloading, and when I say downloading, you already have the Holy Spirit, so He's with you, so He's revealing truth to you. But I just use that because it's easy to understand what I'm trying to say for some people. It's just you're not really downloading it because it's Christ in you all the time. It's already here. The revelation's there. But if you download a new revelation and you meditate on it, you write it down, you concentrate on it, you focus on it, you contemplate it, you're moving to the next state. But if somebody's in Genesis 3 and every day they're living in these lies and they're not entering they're not moving to any kind of revelation at all. I mean, you should be able to understand that is once saved, always saved. If that revelation hasn't hit you, then how in the world can you understand revelations that are even deeper than that? I mean, way deeper than that. So every moment is Genesis 3. Every moment is Revelation. Every moment is all the books in between, because the storyline doesn't change. It's just a matter of where you're at in the storyline. So you see the creation moving from Genesis 3 to Revelation, the revealing of Jesus. So it's true in the 3D experience, but it's also true in your heart. But it's mainly true in your heart. And as we see revivals, or we see people growing and understanding the living in the now, the moment by moment, then these realities are going to start hitting people. This is why reality is shifting. I'm telling you, the shift is here. And so these fake reality bubbles of people have Gentile lies and Gentile holidays and all these things that they believe. They believe that time is linear and there's no such thing as time. And if it is, if there is time, it's to the flesh mind, and it's a cycle. It's not linear. Time doesn't really exist. It only exists to the flesh mind, and it's like the woman's cycle every 28 days. Every moment is the same. You got a 28-day cycle. You got a daily cycle, a monthly cycle, yearly cycle, weekly cycle. Everything's a cycle to birth in to the new state, the new reality, state to state, from glory to glory. So when you start speaking like this and bursting bubbles, people will try to encroach upon you to pull you back into the fake reality, but they don't even know they're doing it. Something's pulling them, because the more free you get and the more lies you get rid of, you're like an ascended master or something, to them, because they're living. You're saying stuff that's easy and common sense to people who are filled with the Spirit, but they're not. And when you're talking to them, they're like, it's like you're talking to somebody who's stunted in growth. It's like you're a spiritual retardation or something. And it's like, this is so simple. This is the greatest spiritual truths are really simple. They're really simple. You can break the whole Bible down into one. I can break the whole Bible, every verse, every letter, every chapter down into one sentence. You ready? From Genesis to Revelation, everything is the flesh versus the spirit, the energy of mankind or the power of God. That's everything. I don't care if you're reading Colossians, Ephesians, Revelations, Philippians, Romans, Hebrews, Genesis, Deuteronomy, Leviticus. It's all either the energy of man, which is the flesh mind, versus the power of God, which is the spirit mind. And the only way you're going to enter into the spirit mind is die daily to the old Adamic nature and the old understanding, the old lies, the old Genesis 3 reality bubbles. You might, let's say there's a man and woman out there and they think they love each other, and one of them's married, the other one's not. That's a fake reality. They're not in love. They're not in love. They're not in love. Because there's a covenant somewhere with somebody else. Hello? Go watch some Bounty Hunter D and break some fake realities. Somebody says, okay, here's one big reality. Here's one Gentile. Everybody says, abortion is okay. So then you say, well, wait a minute. Are you saying that murder is okay? So then the cognitive dissonance comes in. What do you mean? I said abortion's okay. I said, so are you saying that murder's okay? What do you mean? I didn't say murder is okay. I said abortion's okay. So you have cognitive dissonance because you're guilty of something and you don't want to see it? Is that what's blocking you? Is that why you are living in fake reality, that the two that we're talking about are the same thing? Are you that delusional? Have you been told so many lies by the system that you want the fake reality? And this is just one example of 1,000. The guy on the motorcycle, a long time ago, I was videoing something. This old guy in front of me and this young girl, they were going down the road, and this old guy ran into her car, and he pointed at her and said, pull in the parking lot. And I had videoed it, so I followed it in. And he got out of the car. He said to that 18-year-old girl, he's like 70 years old. He said, why'd you hit me? I almost had her in tears. I said, man, she didn't hit you. You hit her. He said, no, I didn't. I said, I got it on video. He said, are you working with her? I said, I don't know her, but I'm sitting here waiting for the police to come, and I'm going to show them the video, and I'm going to upload it, and I'm going to show them the link. You're working with her. He couldn't, he either was a big fat liar or he was believing his own fake reality. I'll never forget that. And she said, thank you for doing that for me. I said, he ought to be ashamed of himself. But I see this kind of stuff all the time. I see it all the time. You got two people who are drawn to each other for whatever reason. Let's say it's a man and a woman drawn to each other for whatever reason. Because there's some good things, outward show, the way they talk, the way they move, the way they think, But you're drawn together. And if these two ever got together, that fake reality that one had on the other one, so you project this fake reality on people. You're trying to project the reality that you want it to be. They're trying to project the reality that they want it to be. And it's not even anywhere close to reality. So then the two get together, and let's say they got married or whatever, and all the fake reality bubbles that they've not let go of, she didn't let go of hers, he didn't let go of his, and by them being together, they're hitting each other with some truth that the other one couldn't see because of their blind spots. You talk about explosions and revelations and Matrix, Neo falling down, and oh, I didn't know this. Oh, where did this come from? What is this? You talk about Neo in the Matrix falling down when he realized everything he believed his whole life was a lie. That's why people don't want to wake up. They would rather eat the fake steak because it's comfortable. Because when you really wake up to what this place is, especially the Gentile nation, is so contrary. I mean, your whole construct in your United States is a fake reality bubble, but people have invested so much time and energy in something, whether it's a business or a corporation or a state or people, why has America grown so much? Because the American dream, the reason that America is prospering, it's never been a Christian nation. Never been a Christian nation. I can prove that. It's actually been a Freemason nation. They just fed them look, you can just think about, compare the Bible with what has happened to the history of the USA. Yeah, the laws line up with redemption. The laws in America do line up. I agree with that. That there's a redemption in the legal system. But if you look at the holidays, they're all mockeries of the holy days. Back to what I was saying, though. The reason America's prospered because everybody's got the American dream, and they create these dreams, and it sounds good. UPS, we're gonna ship boxes, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna build a company, and So for the last, 20, 30 years, they've actually built up that dream. But then when you take a UPS rider to work, they hate their job. They really hated it before the raise, but then they gave them the raise and everybody loved it again. And then they fired a lot of people and now it's more work. I talked to a lot of people. I'm tired of it, to be honest with you. I'm really tired of talking to these people because everything they say is the same repeat. I've heard it 1,000 times. They think it's new because it's new to them, but I've heard it before. It's kind of sad to be in this position and this understanding, because every comment that's any comment that comes on YouTube, I've heard it before. Any comment made, feedback, I've heard it all. And if you've been around long enough, you've heard it all too. You know what I'm talking about. And you know when the Jezebel shows up. You know when Delilah. You know when the mockers and the Gnostics and the people trying to promote the book of Enoch. You know when they are. You know what they're up to. So when you get to that state, you don't want to hear any noise. You don't want to hear any music. You want to just live in the now. You want to be in a state of awareness, of being aware. You don't care about hockey, football, nothing. You don't even care about the politics because it's all lies anyway. They're going to do what they want to do. I don't care what you say. The ones with the money are making the decisions. They're creating the reality bubbles for people to believe. CIA is creating reality bubbles. And you know, a husband and wife can create their own little reality bubble for their kids. That's fine. But most of the time, I've seen it. I've been around them. I've talked to families and I've worked in people's houses, and I've just experienced a lot of things in my life. And most of the time, you sit in there long enough, you listen to the husband and wife talking with their kids long enough, you might be fixing something in their house. You realize, oh, that's fake reality. They might say something to their kid that don't eat. They're so off the roof. They're like, that's weird or sick or something. And then all of a sudden, the husband or the wife or the parents get mad about something and go off the deep end. Or, why didn't you wash those dishes? Why are you yelling about dishes? Just dishes. What's up? Why are you yelling about anything? You know there's a principle involved in that. If a person yells, it's because they feel distant from the other person. If you're in the same room yelling at somebody, it's because emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, or whatever, that you feel distant from the person, even though they're right there. That's why you're yelling, because there's some kind of emotional problem you're dealing with. And when you get to certain levels of just seeing these body language signs, you're like, no wonder. No wonder people like to go be by themselves. Once you have enough data points, it's already happened before, so you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen before it happens. If you want to get rid of somebody, but you don't want to break their heart, tell them some of your mistakes in the past instead of just telling them a pretty picture of everything. If you want to get rid of somebody and not break their heart, just tell them some truth about mistakes you've made in the past, and they'll probably just leave. Because they can't understand. See, God looks on the heart, man looks on the outward appearance. But if you're born again, we see people who are seated in the heavenlies. We don't. When two born again saints talk to each other, they're looking at the other person spiritual. They're not looking what. If you had two brothers, and they're saying one of them has a little problem with drinkers. He said, "Man, I went and got drunk last night. I shouldn't have done it, but it's a propensity." And I said, "Well, I'll pray about you that you can overcome it. I know it's not really you, but maybe you can overcome it." So we don't look at people according to the natural. We look at them according to the Spirit. That's the way God does, because we have the Holy Spirit. But you tell the average person, they just look at the person according to the natural. They can't see their spiritual position. See how deep the rabbit hole goes? See how deep things can go, and people can get mad. You said a curse word, you're not saved. See how deep the rabbit hole of self-deception and bubbles can go? Somebody can actually really believe that you're not saved because somebody said a curse word. But seriously, they think somebody believes. Okay, there's somebody out there that believes that if a person don't get baptized, they're not really saved. Do you really think something in the natural can save you? It's faith. It's the finished work of Christ. It's by faith, people. There's a lot. I could list 1,000 fake reality bubbles, fake reality beliefs, and it would blow your mind if I did the whole list. It's unlimited. I couldn't even list them all. Especially doctrinal. People have all these religious beliefs that nowhere near the Bible. Nowhere near the truth. They'll take a verse out of context. That's really disturbing right there. That fake reality bubble where you go in and you'll talk to somebody who's been in church all life and they'll take a verse out of context. And you're like, what? Didn't you read the verse before and the verse after? What are you smoking? It's right there. Listen to the context. And then you pull up AI, and AI understands it, but they don't, and they're saved, supposedly. But AI can't even get saved, understands it in context, logical. It's logic. So then that tells you most people are not able to use logic because they're projecting a fake reality into their understanding. Because they want it to be true even though it's not. They believe what they want to be true. And that's the scary part.